Hey, it's your boy, Steve. Don't mind the bonnet. And today we're here for some beginner tips on starting off with TemTem. For all the up and rising tamers coming with the 1.0 update, full release that came out September 6th. To start off with, let's talk about starters. So your starter TemTems, they can be found in the wild. However, none of them are going to be in the beginning areas, so it's going to take you a bit to find them. However, people do recommend starting out with Crystal, which is the Crystal type, because they're high defense stats. Number 2, single values and training values. So single values are basically the innate abilities for innate stats actually, for the TemTem. So basically they're born with them like the IVs from Pokemon, and your TVs training values. Those you get from just training or defeating TemTems out in the wild, which have their own values per TemTem. Number 3, get Genki as soon as possible. Genki is a wind electric TemTem, and they're extremely useful in your run, or at least in the first island. So they have a chain lightning move, which is an AoE that hits about 3 Tems. It could be hitting left, right, and then right again. It goes clockwise. So if you aim at the corner, left corner, you can hit the right corner, and then you're hitting your lower right ally, which is either going to be Genki or your actual friend you're playing with if you're doing co-op. Number 4, most evolutions are based on leveling. For example, the moment you breed your TemTem or you capture them, that's when the evolution process starts. So for the starter Pokemon that you get from the beginning, or catching the wild, those take 29 levels to hit stage 2 of their evolution chart. Genki takes 27 levels to hit its phase 2, stage 2 of its evolution tree, which is the final stage. That is a bit more rough to get used to. However, that's just how the world of TemTem goes. Number 5, TemCards, which are the Pokeballs of the game, are pretty cheap, about 15 kudos per piece. However, your bombs and revives are not, so I would highly recommend looking around, searching for chests, digging them out, and saving them as you can. However, you should definitely use them when you're doing boss fights or dojo masters, because you will need them. Number 6, you have an item called a TemEssence Vial. This is a full party heal, meaning that it heals and revives any TemTem that are currently downed. And this will be very vital to your journey, especially when you're starting off. That was probably good for anything at this point. It refills every single time you visit a healing station, and it has a one-time use until you have to reuse it again. Well, recharge it actually. Number 7, you can do co-op with a friend at all times. So your first 3 TemTems of your party will be your main Tems that you use when you're doing co-op, and vice versa for your ally. So their first 3 Tems, your first 3 Tems will form one full squad of 6 TemTem. However, your last 3 Tems that are not currently going to be in your squad, your active squad since you're doing co-op, they still get XP after the 1.0 update. Number 8, when doing co-op, please keep in mind that when you're using your TemTem, you can play, but if you swap out for your ally's TemTem, you won't be playing. You're basically just passing the baton and they'll have to do the moves and everything, unless you swap out for one of your TemTem, assuming you have any TemTem currently alive. Also, be careful when you're both trying to catch a TemTem, because your TemCards will clash and be used up and they just explode. Number 9, there's a quest log and a quest tracker system. So there's a quest log that tracks your main quest and your side quests. And then there's a quest tracker that tracks up to 3 quests. Number 10, after defeating your first dojo, you'll be able to head right back to the Windward Fort to get the Coward's Cloak. So basically, once you go back to the cells where prison cells were at, you go a little bit south of that cell, which you'll see a little body of water there. You surf with the surfboard you got from being a dojo master. Take a left, and then you go a little more left after that, and you'll see a spiraling crags with a couple of goons in the way. Defeat the goons, go to the little crag island, and you'll see a Tem chest guarded by 2 goons right away. Defeat the goons, grab the Tem chest, and you'll get the Coward's Cloak right away, which is the XP share of this game. It splits the XP, I don't believe it's exactly even, however, XP share is an XP share. Beggars can't be choosers. I would recommend, however, to have any TemTem at level 20 while fighting these guys. They may not be the strongest, but they're certainly not weak. But if you beat the Dojo Master, you should be able to handle it just fine. And lastly, actually, that was lastly, I have absolutely nothing else to say at this point, and I don't have an actual outro. So here's a stupid fact. Platypet. This is a funny looking TemTem right here, right? Little dumb little blue platypus animal right here. However, it's a fake mon brought to life in TemTem. This was done with the help of a backer that goes by the name of PokeNinja, who paid the big bucks back in the Kickstarter. This person worked with the 50 Shades of Heliolisk and Crema to bring to life the Platypet that we know and love, which is a poison water type. And this PokeNinja, they did a community vote on what the color for the Luma is, which I believe is pink. And lastly, I really appreciate all the love you guys gave in the last video. We hit over 500, which is pretty, well, great for everything else I put out at this point. So, much love. And I'm really hoping this helps anyone out who was starting off with TemTem. So, you know, the usual, sub, like, tell your boys. And before I go, Genki sweep. Oh, and here's a little bonus. So, TemTem actually works pretty decently on a Steam Deck. See me? Yeah. It's mostly 60, and by that I mean like it works perfectly fine 60 in battles. But then like when you're in the overworld, sometimes it dips like 40s. But like 54 to 60 is the norm. Like on loading screens I get 54 for some reason. And then when I get back into the game it's like hovers between like 45 to 60 tops. But yeah, that's because I usually have it capped out at 60 and I don't do any frame rate cap. But yeah, I'll do direct feed footage and maybe next week, who knows? Or even less, maybe a couple days, hopefully. Alright, that's all I got for today. Take care, man.